Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, and hopefully we can cut through the late night in South Beach and the egg, bacon, and cheese croissant here this morning. So the name of the presentation is People Power. Rollo May, an American psychologist and author of the book Love and Will, once said that there is an energy field between humans. And when we reach out in passion, it is met with an answering passion and changes the relationship forever. And our question is, are you tapping into that energy field with your marketing? That's what we want to talk about. So the way we want to do that is we want to talk about how do we get to commitment. And then we want to talk about how do we make an emotional connection. How do we use our brand purpose to tell that story? How do we then use our brand purpose to activate people? And what is the potential and perhaps even the obligation that we have with digital? And then we want to be able to illustrate that all with Prilosec OTC story. So I like to cheat a little bit and share with people what I hope that you'll take away from today. So the 5 things that we hope at the end that will stick with you are, number 1, commitment equals a rational and an emotional connection. That there are 4 key drivers for an emotional connection, and those include passion, status, experience, and empowerment. That brand purpose is the greatest way to tell our story and in turn to activate people by using our marketing to be as aspirational and personal as possible. And finally, that digital has changed not only the ability, but the expectation of consumers and brands alike. And it is our obligation to take advantage of that. So, looking for commitment. I would venture a guess that most of us in this room, if not all of us, share a very common goal. And that is to create a commitment. A commitment with the people that buy our product or service. A commitment so strong that it can withstand the test of time, competition, and price pressures. The way we do that is through a rational and emotional connection. We believe that regardless of how high a brand satisfaction levels might be, without an emotional connection, there is no value. Because a brand is a person's gut feeling about a product, service, or organization. It is a feeling. So if we look at a little case study here on a given bank, and you look at the retention rates of bank customers, those that stated they were rationally satisfied were essentially just as likely to stay with a bank as those that said they were dissatisfied. But those that stated they were emotionally satisfied were twice as likely to stay with that bank. So, how do we drive to an emotional connection? As I said earlier, we've identified 4 key drivers. And in our view, the best brands use all 4. The first is passion. So much the way that you can tap into their passion, much the way that Disney does with family or entertainment. You can acknowledge, enable, or reward with status, as Neiman Marcus has done so effectively with its In-Circle program. You can create an experience the way Harley-Davidson does with its Harley Owners Group. Or you can empower people to achieve things that might not otherwise seem possible, the way Nike has with Nike Plus. But to drive toward an emotional connection, a brand has to act differently. Much the way that people respond to tone and body language, they're going to respond to our actions. So we've got to show that we care beyond just our message. We've got to do it in action. We've got to not just rely on touting our product benefits. We've got to find an engaging way to bring people into our brand and make them a part of that story and not just rely on some brand equity that was crafted in a back office. And we've got to lift people up, inspire them to achieve greatness with us and not just get them to do what we want them to do. Realizing the brand experience is always on, and that is the sum total of all of those consumer touches, online or off. Those brand requirements for caring, affiliation, and inspiration should come through in everything we do. When we look at some of the best marketers, they've changed the value equation. When we endeavor to add a numerator to that value equation, we are choosing to use our marketing dollars to create meaning with consumers beyond our product or service. But in order to determine how to create meaning for consumers, it is most effective to start with a clear brand purpose in mind, something that lives above and beyond our product or service benefits. Why do we exist? And looking at, for example, some of these brands, you can see their brand purpose shine through, not just in their messages, but in the way they act. So how do we activate people and get them involved in our brand purpose and our brand story? You may think this is obvious or perhaps callous, but the closer we are to me on that continuum, the more effective we will be. So putting political opinions aside for a moment, if we look at the movement of an inconvenient truth and how it activated people, it was not until people could feel and see the benefits and activities till they were much closer to home, till they thought, I can do that. I can see the benefit of that. The name of this presentation is People Power, and people power starts at home. You notice this slide does not say consumer power. You may think that I'm playing with semantics here, but that word, consumer, and all the variations, customer, target audience, who, prime prospect, what have you, those are dulling our minds. We are forgetting that we're talking about real people. We're talking about individuals. And the simple fact is that the more aspirational and personal we are with our marketing, the more likely we are to tap into their passion and to be able to utilize their passion to fuel our brand purpose and spread that word. And the potential for people power leads us to the potential for digital power. Never before have people had not only the ability, but the expectations to so significantly and deeply interact with a brand and with each other, and to shape and create the products, services, and messages that are consumed. And the level of difficulty is increasing. Consumers are beginning to feel that power. I want what I want because I get it from Wikipedia, Google, and iTunes. When I want it. Time-shifting technologies and instant access are spoiling me. Where I want it, at home, on the road, in my hand, in the forms I want, as much or as little, whether it's organize it my way, give it to me in sound bites. I want to see the long form so I can do the research. Filtered by my peers because I still trust them more than you, even if I don't know them. Backed by expert opinion, third-party objective points of view are still important for me, without unwanted interruption because I'll decide what gets through and when, and then I'll share it with my friends at a reach and frequency that most marketers pay big dollars for. But don't you dare tell a soul you know me. Security and privacy are still important, and they are growing more important in the years to come.